The dunderhead whose war talk is digressive and unimpressive. The Senate Republicans whose resistance to witnesses is totally depressive. And the paraprogressives whose campaign tactics suddenly turned aggressive. All here on This Week in Bullshit. Apparently, there are still Iraq War lessons to be gleaned, even with that war about to turn age 17. Back when George W. Bush stormed into Baghdad, his excuse was WMDs. Now, a generation later, the Sultan of Sweat may be staging a reboot, and given the credibility that he's built up after 3 years and a zillion lies in office, which is to say, less than zero, it's no surprise that his claim that 4 embassies were about to be attacked by General Soleimani was greeted with enough raised eyebrows to lift Trump Tower off the ground. So, when it fell to Trump's defense secretary, Mark Esper, to hawk that message on TV, well, let's just say he's no Phil Swift.
I saw this boat in half!
Man, I would buy that.
Well, the president didn't say it was a tangible, he didn't cite a specific piece of evidence. What he said is he believed.
Are you saying there wasn't one?
I didn't see one with regard to 4 embassies. What I'm saying is I share the president's view.
We're talking about potentially justifying war with Iran, and the best the Pentagon chief can do is say, I'm not really sure exactly what's going on here, but what the hell? I bought the ticket, I'll take the ride. Which is also, by the way, exactly what I said to myself watching Brad Pitt muse about cosmic existentialism and his daddy issues in Ad Astra. Good luck finding that imminent threat evidence, Mark. Maybe you should check deep space. Hear ye, hear ye! The impeachment articles are in, and even though it took a while, the Senate trial is finally about to get going. At least it will be if the prosecution is actually allowed to call the relevant witnesses. Even after America's new favorite gelled-up henchman, Lev Parnas, provided Rachel Maddow with the ultimate money quote,
President Trump knew exactly what was going on.
Republican senators like David Perdue are taking the 2019 Trump fan club slogan, no collusion and no obstruction, and updating it for 2020 to no new evidence and no witnesses.
You think the Senate should consider new evidence as part of the Senate trial that has come out?
Not.
Why not?
Because that's not our job.
We thought it would take at least until February before we had to roll out the see no evil, hear no evil monkeys again. But apparently with the impeachment trial on deck, the Republican side of the Senate is turning into a Kurt Vonnegut novel.
Do you want witnesses or not?
I just don't believe that it's likely to be necessary.
Then we'll have a vote on whether or not we even think we need to talk to any other witnesses. I, for one, will probably be a no unless there's additional information beyond what I've already read.
David, Tom, John, are the lights on? Sure, the big red tie guy might reward you with a flattering tweet, but history's not likely to look kindly on you here, seeing as, number 1, witnesses have been a part of pretty much every impeachment trial in history. Number 2, the American public is overwhelmingly in favor of seeing witnesses. Number 3, John Bolton is begging to be a witness, and you know he's seen some shit. Number 4, now there's Parnas, who's really seen some shit. And number 5, it's a trial, for fuck's sake. A trial without witnesses is like The Office without Michael Scott. Nothing really happens. It ends with everyone being like, what the hell was that? And you have to rely on weird cameos to keep people interested. And finally to the campaign trail, where a fight that's long been quietly brewing has finally just popped.
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
Let's not do it right now.
Okay, you two do what you need to do. We'll talk amongst ourselves. The Sanders-Warren fight got started last weekend, when the Sanders team got caught giving call sheets to volunteers knocking Warren. Then, Warren's allies fed the media a story about a meeting last year which Bernie allegedly told Warren that a woman couldn't beat Trump. This week, it all came out for a very public viewing.
You told her that you did not believe that a woman could win the election. Why did you say that?
Well, as a matter of fact, I didn't say it.
What did you think when Senator Sanders told you a woman could not win the election?
I disagreed.
It's possible that one of them is totally full of shit. It's also possible that both of them are a little full of shit. And it's possible that both of them were high on ayahuasca in separate rooms in separate cities and separate states and never even spoke. But even if this show, the ultimate, final, all-seeing, all-knowing barometer of bullshit, is unable to make a definitive call on whether it's Sanders or Warren who should co-star alongside Jim Carrey in Liar Liar 2, the real bullshit here is how both of them are distracting themselves and a lot of voters from the real task at hand, defeating Donald J. Trump. Anyway, that's all we have time for, sports fans, so tune in again next week for more loose litter from heavy hitters, Capitol Hill truth counterfeiters spouting gibberish from TV to Twitter, and 2020 Democrats whose feuds are as dumb as they are bitter. All here on This Week in Bullshit.